3, 2, 1. I'm going to give a couple minutes here till I see at least one viewer, because I don't want to talk to myself, because I can see myself and I'm looking at myself and it's kind of creepy. Who do we got out there in Facebook land tonight? Anyone? Bada, so wing, bada. If you are on, if you are listening, if you are tuned in, please feel free to comment. Send me a comment. Give me a thumbs up, a like, something. Let me know I'm being heard. People just want to be heard, you know. Who do we got here? I got one viewer I can see. All right, so I'm just going to kick it off tonight. Just got done speaking to a group of recovering addicts, alcoholics, and ex-offenders, people in prison. And what I've been doing, this is week 3, what I've been doing is just kind of going in there. A lot of them have gone, obviously gone to the AA meetings. Hey, Shannon, how's it going there? Good to see you tuning in. Anyone else out there? I saw something. That's a thumbs up. Who else we got? Anyone? Type a comment. Show me some love. Show me some Facebook love. Let me know you're out there. What does this do? What does this button do? I liked something. I don't know if it was Shannon's comment or if it was myself. Anyway, so kicking it off tonight. This is week 3. Got done speaking, like I said, to a group of recovering addicts, alcoholics, and ex-offenders, people in prison for different things. So what I'm doing is I'm just going and just kind of giving my time and paying forward the blessings that I have received through my mentorship, through my deliverance from addiction and alcohol, and just going through to speak to teach life skills and leadership skills and success skills and life resolution and just a varying topics to help them with applicable information that can actually help them move forward in life. They've all gone to the AA meetings. They've all gone to the NA meetings. And those are a good thing, okay? They can be a good thing. My opinion is they can be very limiting for various reasons, depending on where you go, who's running the meeting, etc. And I don't want to get into a big heated discussion here. And I guess I really can't because I'm talking to myself. But my experience with AA, when I went through, I was court ordered to go through years ago. And I was already delivered from addiction and alcoholism by the time I went to these court-ordered meetings. So I understood a little more from a spiritual standpoint in terms of freedom and deliverance. If the Son sets you free, if the Son sets you free, you are free indeed. By His stripes we are healed. We are new creations under Christ Jesus. There's no condemnation under those for those who are in Christ Jesus. Truth, words of truth, okay? When I went to AA, I had to remind myself, okay, I was told to remind myself, I'm an addict, every time. So I get the value of that. I get the importance of that. If you're just coming into that you kind of do. You are, And actually, my firm belief is unless you've truly been saved and you truly knew Christ, the one who can set you free, I do believe once an addict and always an addict without Christ. I do not believe that is the case with Christ because we are new creations and it's by His stripes we are healed. But that's just my philosophy. You can totally disagree with me. That's fine. You're wrong. Just kidding. So anyway, I just want to encourage people out there listening. If you are an addict or recovering addict or recovered, you think you might be recovered, but you're reminding yourself you're an addict. I'm not going to tell you to stop saying that. I'm not going to demean the value of recognizing it, but don't let it hold yourself there. Don't let it be a thumb that holds you down and constantly telling yourself that. And if you do tell yourself, I am an overcomer and I am a victor and I am a champion and I am delivered. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, what we think and what we say, we speak into existence. Okay, well, that's basically the principle I'm getting at. So we can either speak the fact that we're always going to be struggling with it and an addict, or we can speak that we're going to be delivered from it and move forward. If for whatever you relapse, okay, I have a different philosophy on that as well. I think if you're sober, this is just my experience. If I was sober, when I first was trying to figure it all out, I went several months without drinking or using. Then I got a little too cocky, a little too arrogant, and I went and drank, thinking I could have 2 beers and stop. Not. Okay, I destroyed myself. So I had been sober for 3 or 4 months. Did I relapse or did I get drunk? You know, did I relapse? Did I start my alcoholism all over again, or did I learn from my lesson and feel disgustingly sick for like 2 days and just like learn, okay, not gonna do that again, all right? And I didn't drink again till of my buddy's wedding. Like, I remember this whole year. My buddy got married in October of the year I sobered up. I sobered up in January of '97. My first time drinking was probably March or April after that, and it was just terrible. And then the next time I drank was like in October, my buddy's wedding. Again, not strong enough to stop once I started drinking. And then I just felt like crap again. And then just, you get sick of kind of feeling sick after a while, you know what I'm saying? You just realize, okay, this isn't going to work. So, but did I relapse? Got drunk twice in a year period. Did I relapse or did I get drunk twice in a year period? You know what I'm saying? Like, I refuse to put myself in that start over from the beginning, and I'm not going to tell anyone out there don't have the same philosophy. I just want to inspire people to think about it differently, because if we're told always and we're told addict, it is true. Okay, again, if you just move forward, like if you're fasting, okay, if you're going on a fast to feed the spirit and to starve the flesh to grow spiritually. I have a talk out there where I was fasting for like a week. I wanted to fast for 10 days or whatever it was. I can't remember. But I was fasting. Actually, it probably wasn't 10 days because I just wouldn't have been able to not eat for 10 days. But I caved to a box of like 10-month-old freezer burnt pizza rolls. Okay. So in the same mindset, like I'm fasting for God, fasting to strengthen my spirit, I caved to some pizza rolls, which were not even good. You know, did I fail? Did I relapse? Or do I just pick up and start fasting again? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's not what I was teaching them tonight. I just kind of went off a tangent, but there is hope. Okay, we have to have, the reason I'm saying this is because there's more hope for you than you think. If you're locked into, I'm always going to be this way, then there's really not a whole lot of incentive to truly change. You know, I firmly believe, and this will be another discussion, that addiction is not a disease like we're told, because just some real quick bullet points on that. Like, we never hear anyone talking about the disease of cancer or the disease of diabetes, but whenever we talk about addiction or alcoholism, for whatever reason, it has to be pointed out that it's a disease. Make sure you know and believe and think it's a disease. Okay, is it? A disease will actually mutate a cell and stop an organ from producing function. It will actually mutate an organ, mutate a cell. A disease will, like diabetes, the pancreas doesn't produce insulin. Like cancer, the cells are mutated. Alcoholism doesn't necessarily do that. Addiction doesn't necessarily do that. There's a tolerance that's built up. The effects of using can mutate and shut down organs, but it itself does not do that. And then I've had people say, oh, but the brain waves are this and that. You know, brain waves change for users, brain waves change for alcoholics. Well, yeah, you know, but they also change for people that are listening to classical music or heavy metal music. They also change for people that are driving cars super fast. So is anyone suffering from the disease of heavy metal musicism or classical musicism or fast carism or cigarettism? You know what I'm saying? So just think about different things. And in fact, Simon Sinek, I think it's Simon Sinek, not sure. There is a talk out there called Rat Park. So I want to encourage everyone to find that talk and look into that. A buddy of mine, Jeremy, awesome dude, that just totally backed up all my theory. check it out. Just that's all I'm going to say. Anyway, so I believe it's a choice. I believe it can be stopped. I believe it can be delivered. And why do I believe that? Because I did it. So I remember sitting at a bar. Yes, I did go to a bar after not drinking. I had one beer and then I would have an O'Doul's or a Mountain Dew. And I'm not going to tell everyone, do it. If you've been sober for 30 years, I'm not saying go to a bar and have a beer. No. But I did that, and then I stopped, my beer, and I had a Mountain Dew, and I had the guy sitting next to me saying, "Oh, you sissy, what'd you quit drinking?" I'm like, "Well, actually, glad you asked, because that's why I'm here, to share my story. I quit drinking because alcohol and getting drunk and alcohol abuse destroyed my life for 12 years. So he's like, "Oh," and I said I was an alcoholic for 12 years. He's like, "Oh, if you're always an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Well, cheers with my Mountain Dew." Okay, if I was an alcoholic, I wouldn't be able to stop to have the Mountain Dew, okay, because I was not an alcoholic, and I am not an alcoholic. So it opened his eyes a little more, okay, made him think, because here he is at the same bar every day for every day of his life at the same time, and he has zero desire to quit because he doesn't think he can, because he had been labeled an alcoholic. And it's a disease. So if there's a disease, there's absolutely no reason to take responsibility to stop, because now we're a victim, okay? Because it's the disease's fault. It's not my fault, right? So disease card, what's your hand? I don't play that. So it opened his eyes. And obviously, when you can inspire people, there is hope. They're going to try harder to sober up. They're like, "Hey, wait, maybe I can do this, because this guy next to me obviously did. And if he can do it, I can," right? Nobody ran the 4-minute mile until someone ran the 4-minute mile. Now everyone's running the 4-minute mile, right? So anyway, my purpose in life for living through everything I lived through is to help people be the best them they can be. And a lot of times people have to get over mountains, which is actually what I did talk about today, is getting over those mountains. I talked the other night about having faith enough to move the mountains. Well, what is their mountain? Well, obviously for that group, their mountain was addiction. Their mountain was alcoholism. And because, okay, why are they using? Why are they drinking? What was the mountain that led them to do that? Depression, bad childhood. You know what I'm saying? So it's not all about what we're using, how often we're using, when we started using, but why we're using. Have we resolved that issue? Because again, I do believe that if you haven't resolved that issue, that you're going to struggle with addiction, alcoholism, that much more. So let's find resolve to that. Okay, because that in itself sometimes can take care of the addiction part. Does that make sense? So anyway, great reception. Just getting to know the people a little more. They're starting to trust me a little more. My craziness and spasticness doesn't scare them as much as it did the first week. But I just have to let my personality ring through, They're either going to gel or they're not. They're going to feel what I'm saying or they're not. Had one dude that was super quiet in there and didn't really think he was listening. And last week, we talked forever afterwards. And the dude's freaking genius. So you just never know. When you think people are not listening, you think people aren't hearing what you're saying, you think you might not be mattering. I'm telling you what, people are hearing, people are watching, people are observing. You can change lives without even knowing it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going in, teaching them, success skills, people skills, leadership skills, how to find resolve to problems, how to make yourselves more valuable to employers, so you can kind of get yourself on that horse moving forward, as opposed to holding yourself there where you're at. And it was an incredible time. And just to be able to be blessed through the mentorship of some very successful people, and through my Heavenly Father in heaven had delivered me and showed me His truth and wisdom in His Word. And now that I can apply, even if they're not believers, the principles within the Word are truth. Okay, so they can't deny. It's common sense in a lot of sense. So I'm just getting great reception. And I just want to encourage anyone out there that if you've gone through it, or you're going through it, and maybe you're struggling still, but you've got some sobriety under your belt, go out there and mentor someone. Go out there and try to help someone, just inspire someone, and turn your mess into a message, because people they're wanting to hear, man. They're dying for hope. Literally, sadly, suicide is a problem with many of these people, and they literally are dying because they have no hope. And literally, if you got the courage to step out in faith, and to step out and lead, and step out and turn your mess into a message, that message can literally save somebody's life. And we all have that capability, regardless of what it is. So anyway, that's just kind of what I wanted to share tonight. And I just ask for continued prayer for that, because my vision is literally to start kind of a chain or franchise of recovery houses, to build them up, to get them out of just some rough situations, to kind of build them up, so then they can maybe go to a less monitored, a little more independent housing, and then get them back out, build them up as people and let them know they do have value, they do have a purpose, they can succeed, they are a champion, and just start a chain of that, because, look how many people, if you can change a house of 30 people, all right, and those 30 people go out and are able to change 30 people, bam, you're changing the world. So get out there and do what you know you can do. You're a champion. And thanks for tuning in. And if you know anyone that's struggling with addiction or alcoholism, and it doesn't need to be drugs, it could be gambling, it could be pornography, it could be whatever, food, shopping. Addiction is a very common root in all of it, and finding resolve to the reasons for it can change somebody's life. So if any of this made any sense, please share this. If you know anyone struggling with any kind of addiction or anything where they feel they have no hope, there is hope. It's all a matter of what we're reading, what we're listening to, and who we're associating with. And keep in mind, it's all the thinking. This is the greatest computer ever invented, created. We have the choice what we download. We have the choice what viruses we let into this computer, and what we input determines what we output. So be smarter than the system that tells you you're not a genius. God bless.